sure it's going.
Rachel, you need to come back with us.
Alright. Let's go and put the paper that we're working on away, okay? Let's go and put our notes away. Yes. Let's go and set that away right now, okay?
Stop for a second.
It'll be very quick. It'll be quickly, okay? I promise. Alright, let's go ahead and take out our music. And as soon as we're done, we'll be good. So, alright. So last time we learned about plotting coordinates, right? And today we're going to be going over how to find the slope. I know that we've done this, in the past. But remember that assessment that we did a couple weeks ago that I gave you? It was like 2 weeks ago. Well, on that, I want to kind of go over each of those areas that we learned about, and see if we can improve those scores that you all got on that, okay? So that's kind of the reason why we're going over each of these areas again, okay? So today, we're going to be talking, just like I said, on how to calculate the slope of the line, okay? Now actually, you can actually open up your notes to, let's do, I think it's 1-3. So go ahead and grab your 1-3 notes out. I want you to turn to those slopes, not that one. 1-3. And now on the back side, you have the pictures of what each of the slopes are. You have 4 pictures of slopes, and I want to kind of explain how we know if it's positive, negative, undefined, or if it's a 0. Okay? So for the first one, let's go ahead and turn to 1-3. We just turned to 1-3. Do you have that one, Dex? Okay. Cool. And just turn to the other side. So we can ask questions on these. So on the first one, who can tell me what the slope is? Is it positive, negative, undefined, or 0? That first picture on that side. And so I'll be looking at this. What's the first slope on the back side of that? See those 4 pictures? This one right here. Who can tell me which slope that is? Actually, how about this? We're going to quickly go over the definitions, and this might help you. But for a positive slope, the slope goes upward from left to right. Okay? So the slope, look at the line. If it's going from left and then going upwards to right, then you know it's positive. And if it's negative slope, the slope goes downward from left to right. So it'll start up on the left side and it'll go downward. Okay? Now let's look at that first slope. Does that slope look like a positive or a negative? Is it starting off with the left side and going up? If you look at that, it's starting off with the left side and it goes up, and so that would be a positive slope.
Yeah, are we looking at A?
You're looking at A, correct? So it starts at the left side. You see where that line is, and it goes up, and so that would be a positive slope. When you look at the next one, it starts off downward, and then it goes from left to right, and so that would be a negative slope. And that's been kind of always confusing for me, trying to find, which line was negative and positive. So I think they both look kind of similar, don't they? So basically what you want to do is see, where does it start on the left side? Is it starting up at the top and going downwards, or is it starting off at the bottom and going upwards? And that'll help you know whether it's positive or negative. Alright? And then the next one, what is this one? Where's that one, Dex? What's that third picture? Is it a horizontal? Is it a 0 slope? Is it undefined slope? Negative or positive? Positive. See, this one was a positive because it's going up positive. Because this one is not any slope at all, because it's 0 divided by a number, it could be a 0 slope. Alright, and then the very next picture, if we look at, is actually an undefined slope. And if you get any numbers that you're dividing by 0, it's going to be a 0 slope. So you can't divide by a 0. Okay? And I'm going to hand out just a few steps. You've probably heard these ones before. Rachel, if you can just grab one and pass it along. Okay? But these are steps in helping us to calculate our slopes. And we're going to use these steps just to do a problem on the board. Alright? Let's see. If you can also, Rachel, just grab one of these and just grab one and pass it along. So we're going to have you just go and write on these whiteboards as I'm doing this problem. Okay? Alright. Thank you, Rachel. You just pass one along. Alright, the first problem that we're going to do, bless you, Dex, and we're going to use these steps. We're going to take the points. Everyone look up here. We're going to take 10, 3 is our first point. And our next one is going to be 7, 9. Okay? And what's our first step on that? Okay, thank you. What is our first step on there, Cameron? What does it say?
Look at the problem.
Look at the problem. So first thing, we're not going to be able to find the answer from look at it, right? So we first have to look at the problem. This is our problem right here, so we're looking at it. What is our second step, Cassidy? On this right here. What does the second step say?
Identify and label which points are y, 1, x, y.
Exactly. So we got to mark which one. So our 10, is that x or y?
That's x.
It's x. Okay. Let's go mark this. We got x1, and this is y because this is x. We got y1, x2, y2. And what is our third step, Chandler? What's our third step on the list? So what does it say on the steps to calculate a slope?
Put the y's on top and the x's on bottom.
Exactly. So remember our slope?
Did you get it okay?
We got y minus y
Can you bring it back here?
over x minus x, right? Alright. Thank you. You can just set that on the side, Cameron. Oh, Dex, can you grab one of those? Okay. So what our first problem is going to look like is we have our points, we have our formula. Now we're going to plug in those points in the formula, okay? So the first one we're going to do is, we're going to do 9 minus 3. We're taking the y, and we could do either one. We could take the 9 first here, or take the 3. We got both y's, right? It doesn't matter which way you do it. And then the next one we're going to do is 7 minus 10. And once again, I could do 10 minus 7. At the end, when we solve for it, it's going to give us, we're going to have the same
You can't
answer.
flip it. You can't. If you go one direction, you have to go one direction both ways.
Well, that's what it's saying. So if I do 3 times 7, then obviously I have to do 10 times 9.
No.
But I was saying if you do 7 times 3, 7 minus 3, you do 9 minus 10.
Yeah, as long as you go, but you can't do 10 minus 9.
Correct. So,
And it's you got to collect the y's real quick.
so we have x,
Goes with
we
x.
have y minus y, and x minus x.
Yeah. It has to go in one direction.
Right. Well, that's what I was, so you got x, sorry, the y. If I'm going this way, I could do that. If I go this way, I have to do the same thing and go that way as well.
Yeah. Make sure you erase that and connect the right ones. You're connecting x's and y's.
That's true. That's true. Thank you for pointing that out, Ms. River. So we got to make sure that we're connecting the x's to the x's, right? So we got x here, and then we got the y's. Okay? And what is our next step? What is our next step, Cassie? On our steps right there, what's the fourth step? Solve. Alright, so let's go ahead and solve it. What's 9 minus 3? 6. 7